welcome back. Ghosting your boss. That's when you accept a new job and then you just don't bother showing up and you don't return calls or texts. Gen Z is ghosting at a rate of up to 20% of new hires. And maybe it's because they fear the real life confrontation after growing up on screens. Maybe it's because there's so many jobs to choose from. But make no mistake, there are dark clouds of recession churning on the horizon. And within a few months, the experts say layoffs will be the ugly new headline. Is Gen Z ready for a world where jobs are precious and few and far between? And are the lessons of the last decade setting them up for disaster? We've assembled an all-star panel of career experts. Paul McDonald is the Senior Executive Director for Robert Half, the world's first and largest specialized talent solution and business consulting firm. Johnny C. Taylor Jr. is President and CEO of the Society for Human Resource Management, the largest HR trade association in the world. And Julie Bauke is a strategic career advisor. Her book is called, and I love this, Stop Peeing on Your Shoes, Avoiding the 7 Mistakes That Screw Up Your Job Search. We got to do an hour just on that book title alone. Julie, I'm going to begin with you. I didn't think I was going to be having this discussion in my career of people ghosting their bosses. Did you ever think it would come to this?
Well, employers, unfortunately, have been doing the ghosting for years. And so from a job seeker perspective, I've heard it over and over again, turnabout is fair play. So it's unfortunate. But when the pendulum swings this way, I think there's a kid in the candy store sort of confidence that job seekers get, and they aren't always making good decisions.
The pendulum. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because pendulum usually comes back and things change. But first, before I do that, Paul, the old expression of burning a bridge, it used to be what terrified us, in the job market. We just wanted the job and we wanted to make sure that our reputations stayed intact. What happened to that?
Well, I think that there's so many choices today. There's 11.5 million jobs available last month. The confidence is extremely high with the worker, with the Gen Zer. And by the way, it goes through all generations, not just Gen Z. So with all those openings, the confidence is too high. And they're making choices right off the bat to try and, find a job, get a job. They're all enthusiastic about getting that without doing enough research, without looking for connections, if it's a good cultural fit for them, and doing, looking at the job description. Am I really a good fit? Can I work for the supervisor or manager? As I mentioned, a cultural fit twice because it's so important. And do I see myself long-term or even short-term working for this organization?
So in the 80s, when I graduated from university, we had a funny term, us friends who were heading out into the job market. It was called McJobs, because there was a recession and we couldn't get jobs in our chosen fields. We had to get McJobs, anything we could get until eventually we could get into our fields. And with that in mind, Johnny, we're expecting a recession, and I'm sort of wondering what the net effect of a recession could be on Gen Z that now is just used to having every job at their beck and call.
Well, let me tell you, it's coming, and it's coming faster than many know. We just saw last week on Thursday, both Walmart and Amazon announced that they had overstaffed for the first quarter of 2021. And that it affected their financial results as such. And obviously, we've seen what's happened to the stock market. But it's not just the retail jobs. We're seeing this everywhere. I mean, you see Carvana announce 2,500 layoffs. You see companies like Uber, for the first time ever, saying hiring will be a privilege going forward. So what we have is not only the Generation Z, but a significant portion of the millennial population. Remember, they were born in 1981, which means in 2008, they were in their early or mid-20s. So they've not really experienced an economic downturn. And this is going to be shocking for them. They believe everything goes up, salaries, stock prices, everything. And they're coming to very quickly the reality that the world doesn't always go up when it comes to employment.
Yeah, I mean, let me just list off a couple of other, realities in a recession. You have inflation, the gas prices are up. It's really hard to get a loan, but at the same time, your interest rate on your credit card skyrockets, and it's really hard to find those paying jobs because all of a sudden, layoffs, downsizing, and it gets really hard to live with all those expensive things when you don't have any money coming in. So, Julie, what's going to happen to the requirements list, that big, long, special, awesome list that lots of the Gen Zers have when they're deciding if they're going to join a company or not?
Well, right now, companies are still in scramble mode in terms of trying to figure out what Gen Z wants. So there's still almost this split personality going on where they're trying to get people in the door, trying to keep the people they want to keep, but still thinking about layoffs and recession. So the best thing that organizations are trying to figure out, what is it? And from a job seeker perspective, one of your previous guests mentioned it, you have to figure out exactly what's most important to you, because there could be this laundry list of wonderful benefits, but I might look at that as a job seeker. I might look at those 10 benefits and say, I don't really care about 7 of them, but these 3 I do care about. So from a job seeker perspective, get crystal clear on what matters most to you and use that as a part of your template as you're out there deciding which jobs to apply to and which ones to show up on Monday morning to.
You know what? It's brilliant. The prioritization, right? So in an earlier segment, we showed that the top 2 priorities were, mental health related, the kinds of services and acceptance, a company would have with regard to mental health. So, Paul, I'm going to get you to weigh in on this. With everything that we just outlined that might be coming down the pike, and it's going to be nasty, do you think that the anxiety will be higher for Gen Z and they will demand even more in the mental health area, or are they going to have the worst storm possible, and that is higher anxiety and no opportunity to ask for those mental health services because they just need the job?
Well, if they have a job, if they're lucky enough to have a job, and by the way, we're not there yet. I might be a contrarian right now. I know the facts of the job openings that are there right now. So having said all that, if they speak up, like one of your guests in a previous segment said, if they use their soft skills, if they develop their soft skills, and the organization that they're working for helps them with those soft skills, meaning presentation, verbal skills, the ability to write and communicate. Essentially, that's what we're talking about. Then they'll be able to speak up. Mental health is a real thing. It's come to the forefront in this pandemic. As we move out of it, I don't think it's going away, like many of your experts have said. However, the organizations that these people work for can help draw it out. And that's where a good human resource department, a good L&D department will help not only train them, but also bring them to the forefront and offer, even if they're in a remote or a hybrid setting, offer the assistance, the employee assistance programs that are necessary to make them feel as though they're a part of the organization and being heard in the mental health arena.
Here I am, age 54, and I just learned a new term, soft skills. I thought I knew it all, but soft skills, I'm going to work on that. Okay, so I only have about 30 seconds left, but Johnny, this question is essential. Is this just the natural ebb and flow in the HR business? And basically, when jobs are scarce, don't people just adapt to the market?
There's no question. Listen, we've seen the cycles. Those of us on this call today on the television screen, we're old enough to have seen the cycle. The question is, for people who've not gone through a cycle, they don't know what to expect. Yes, it will, at times, the pendulum will swing and it will be a buyer's market, as it has been, for years as we knew it. And then it was a seller's market recently. For the last 15 or so years, it's been a hot market. And the reality is we have fewer Americans having been born over the last 2 decades. So we knew that this was coming. What we've got to do is figure out, how do we engage employees, address the mental health issues. I want to make that point real quickly. We as employers understand the significance of an employee being not only physically well, but mentally well. So that's not going to go away. What we're not going to be intolerant of is an employee who, every time they're being held accountable, that word you used before, fall back on, I'm under mental duress and I can't do this job and you've got to do something for it.
That's a very good point. There has got to be, some boundaries there in terms of just when you're a snowflake and when you're being lazy and not dealing with something. Okay, Paul McDonald, Johnny C. Taylor Jr., and Julie Bauke, thank you all three. I definitely want to have this panel back. This is great. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.